Hello, everyone. It is Sunday, November 12th, and I am Laurie Baracco, and I welcome you to this morning's live. And so I will wait a couple moments for everyone to receive the notification that I've gone live here. I am at the Mystical Moon in Bonita Springs today. I'll be working out front. And I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you here today. And so this week's topic is going to be answering your questions. So I did notice that there weren't any submitted ahead of time, which is totally cool and fine. We'll just kind of go with the flow. And so just going to kind of hang out a moment or two and we'll see what is going on with everyone. Okay, so I'm just kind of toggling back and forth. So I see a few of you have received the notification that I'm live. It's been an interesting November, right? I know that for many of us, this time change has really kicked our butts. And I think it's just the shifts in the consciousness and just a lot of us moving big stuff in the other realms. And so we're feeling a little tired, a little exhausted. Who here has been having like really not just restless, but like the dreams are just like you're waking up and you're more tired than when you went to bed? Who? I know I have been. I wake up and I'm like, did I even go to sleep? And then I'm also finding that it's a little bit more challenging for me to get a full night's sleep because I'm waking up really early because of the time change. Anywho, I am going to also smudge. I see a few more friends have joined me here. Good morning, friends. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Anne. Good to see you. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Laurie Baracco. And I am the founder of the Mystical Moon. I am a professional psychic, medium, business coach, soul advisor, all of the things that create the creatrix of many mystical products for higher consciousness, sprays and alchemical blends and candles and so many different things. And so I look forward to connecting with all of you this morning. And I'm just going to check on some of the comments and then I'll smudge us here. And Kathy says, not a fan of this daylight standard time. I know, not a fan at all here either. All right, so I'm going to light my sage and this will get things rolling along. And yeah, Kathy says, feeling wiped out. Yeah, I feel the same way. I hear you, sister, right? And so what we also might notice is that we're feeling some resistance to the regular routine of things. Anybody else feeling that? The regular routine of things, it's, okay, I know that I still want to do this. I know that that my efforts will be worth it in the end. They're going to pay off. It just is getting going, getting motivated. So maybe feeling extra sluggish. Maybe the root chakra needs a little more activation and movement there. Yeah. So I've got my smudge going. We're going to give it a little bit extra here. Someone says, my 5 dogs are not happy with the time change. No, neither is Ralphie. Ralphie is not okay because he gets his snack at 8 a.m. and then he gets his pill at night at 8 p.m. And so he's like, tick tock, mom, dad, where's my stuff, right? And so, yeah, the dogs are not happy. The cat doesn't care. She's in charge anyway. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment or two, and let's take a moment, right, to set the space with our sacred smudge, connecting in and allowing this sacred herb to cleanse our minds, our bodies, our spirits. This is that gentle reminder that it's so important that we recalibrate, realign, and retreat sometimes to relax, to regroup, to process, to give all of the changes and all of the soul work that we have been tending to and allowing all of those experiences to be digested within our minds, our bodies, our spirits. If we keep going, we don't have time to process and allow these shifts and changes to anchor into our fields of awareness. So we're going to allow this beautiful smudge to envelop our minds, our bodies, our spirits, cleansing us and shifting the energy in our field. And so it is. Alrighty, everybody. So I will say that this is a little interesting, use my air quotes, interesting, because usually with my Q&As and my questions, that usually we've got a bombardment of questions here. So I think that it's important that we follow the flow of energy, follow the little trickles here and there, and trust that, things don't need to be forced. They don't need to be pushed along. And if you are needing to honor yourself, then honor yourself with rest, unplugging, which I have a feeling many of you have been doing. I've been doing this myself, unplugging from your phone, from the internet, from social media, and allowing yourself to just be without this overstimulation. And that is something that I most certainly do see that's been taking place for so many people, is this overstimulation. It is what is throwing us off course. It's throwing us for a loop, is this overstimulation of socially and social media and the internet and the television and talking and interacting, So I have found myself needing more of that time and craving it, even with my beloved pets. They want to be pet, which of course I'm happy to pet them, but they want attention and so on and so forth. And if you're finding that you're really frazzled and feeling short-circuited, short-tempered, it could be that you have overstimulation going on. So what are some of the things that you can do? You can go outside. You can disconnect from the outside world for a little bit. You can seal up your auric field. You can use your smudge. You can work with some meditation and some candles and some cord cuttings as well. Anybody else feeling that way these days? I'm just going to wait and see if anybody has a comment or two about that. And then I'm going to answer some of your questions as you type them in. So anybody feeling that they're feeling a little off, and it could be that maybe you're overstimulated. I'll give you a moment or two to type that in. Oh, and I did have some things I had here too. So before I go into questions, I did have a brief outline for you about the new moon that's coming up, right? So yesterday we had that 11/11 portal. I know that Jillian commented in the private Facebook group that, hey, I thought that this was going to energize me and shift some energy for me. And that was not the case, right? She probably is also feeling overstimulated, and just kind of try not to resist the flow of things and just kind of go with it and trust it. All right, I don't have any comments in. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to share some thoughts about this new moon that's coming up on November 13th. So we have a new moon in Scorpio on November 13th, which is tomorrow. So here are just some things to keep in the back of your mind with these cosmic influences of the new moon in Scorpio. So these are the themes: deep psychological healing. The moon's placement in the intuitive Scorpio, sign of Scorpio, can bring up suppressed emotions and subconscious blockages, allowing for powerful healing and release. This is an optimal time for trauma therapy, right? So that shadow work. So that is something that is huge, right? So that first one right off the bat tells us, okay, there's a lot that is going on and things are coming up for us as well. I'm going to read one of the comments here. Oh, so someone said they might be the odd one out, but that 11/11 portal helped them ground and put more in the flow state, and they definitely needed it. That is awesome, right? So Everybody is in a different place. So just remember that, right? Different place in their journey. Some full moons or new moons or eclipses will affect others in different ways, right? It will affect everybody differently. And I see someone else says, oh, Kathy says she had to back away from other people's drama for a while. Absolutely, right? Because it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming with our sensitivities. And then sometimes we find ourselves pulled into the middle of that. And that's never fun. And so Ann Caston says, so hard to tell. My 17-year-old dog crossed on Monday. My whole world is different. I am so sorry, Anne. I am so sorry. Oh, your family member has transitioned. I am so sorry. So honor your grieving process, and I'm going to send you lots of love and healing if you're okay with that. Oh, yeah, your world is different. 17, God bless your fur baby. 17 years old. That is amazing. And I'm sure that they had a really special, wonderful life with you, that you provided them with so much love. And I'm sure it was vice versa. Yeah. So some of the other things with the new moon in Scorpio, mysteries will be revealed. Scorpio rules secrets, and this new moon may unveil hidden truths. Mystical experiences and metaphysical insights are heightened under this moon, right? So some ahas and epiphanies may be coming to the surface. Also, there may be sexual reawakening. Scorpio governs sex, and the new moon here can rekindle sexual desires and passions. Exploring sacred sexuality and Tantra may be especially fulfilling at this time. So, a little bit more passion in your relationships as well. Then we have, let's see, so then there's communication with the dead. The veil between the worlds is thin under this moon, making it an ideal time to commune with departed loved ones or your spiritual guides. So this is a great time to put your focus on connecting with the other side. Also, magical rituals. Some types of magical practice get a boost from the Scorpio new moon's mystical energy, spells, intentions, and divination, and more. So you might find that you're embracing your magical side and you're wanting to work with more with rituals, candle magic, herbs, calling in your spirit helpers, and embracing your alchemical side as well. Let's see here. We've got soul contracts, passive connections, and karmic bonds may become apparent at this time as Scorpio rules fate and soul agreement. So we might notice that there are some themes that are that we have more understanding about in our lives that may be brought to our attention a little bit more so. You know, in some soul bonds and contracts are best to be ended, right? It's like I understand what that relationship and that situation was about. So it's time for me to move on, right? I feel complete. Spiritual alchemy. This new moon supports inner transformation at the soul level. Phoenix rising imagery resonates strongly now, right? So there is a lot with in a lot of healing and shifting and growth in the inner planes. Psychic development, psychic abilities like mediumship, energy healing, and clairvoyance are heightened under the intuitive waters of Scorpio. So your intuition might be even more heightened at this time. Be mindful that you can open and close the psychic gates, right? So just remember that, okay? That you don't always have to be an open channel for psychic information and messages to be coming through all the time. Not healthy to do that all the time, by the way. Let's see here. Oh, hello, friend. I see someone saying, hello, everyone. Hello. So just be mindful of that. If you are bombarded by psychic impressions and messages, you have the ability to create healthy boundaries of when it's appropriate for spirit to communicate with you and when it's not. And I know sometimes, though, we do need that message to come through, and spirit's going to make sure we receive that anyway. But to be a victim of spirit is not a healthy way to exist. And overall, the Scorpio new moon is a powerful time to dive deep spiritually, face the shadow self, heal emotionally, and undergo spiritual metamorphosis, an impactful time of spiritual growth and renewal. And a lot of people are really focused on that shadow work. Does everybody know what shadow work is? I'll give you a moment or two to answer. What is shadow work? It's something that's like the big buzzword and focus for so many people, but it is really helpful, and it's important work that we do. So wait a moment or two. Take a sip of my water. Well, shadow work is when we delve into the aspects of ourself that we know could use healing, and where we're meant to grow. And it say like you have a phobia around speaking your truth, right? And so that would be doing some work. You could work with a practitioner, you could work with journaling, and kind of delve into those areas and try to trace it back maybe a little bit and bring healing to that. Some people don't need to go as deep with it. Maybe scheduling a Reiki session, maybe meditating and journaling every day. There are also shadow work journals and books that are very much available to so many people at this time. And I see that someone's comment is, I've been waiting for this time of the year since I do most of my work in the shadow realm. Awesome. Yep. So there is that focus. And some people, that is their life work too, is to assist others with the healing, whether it's therapy or addiction or toxic relationships, abuse, and so on and so forth. And so that is more of that. That's also that shadow work. And someone says they're confused about what it is exactly. It's not shying away from the aspects of ourselves where we know that there's pain, there's healing, there are repetitive patterns where we know that, okay, this is something that keeps coming up for me, and it feels like it's a roadblock from me getting to where I know I need to be, right? So it's not shying away from that. It's looking at it, it's sorting through it, it's understanding it, and you can embrace those parts of yourself and use them as a superpower. Say, okay, I know that sometimes when I get to this point within this aspect of my journey, that this tends to come up. How can I navigate through this, aware and being proactive with that for myself? Okay. Oh, hey, good morning, Crystal. Hey, Joe. I had a feeling that was you, Joe, by the way. Hi, Joe. Yeah. Is this like coming out of the shadows? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Kathy. It's looking at things and embracing it. And you don't have to like tackle it, but you can look at it. And some people, they like to just like hit it head on. Some people, it's more of a gentle process because it brings up a lot, right? It can bring up a lot of pain and grief and sadness and frustration, and you can feel overwhelmed. Everybody is going to go at it, address it from a different place. So also, with this theme of inner work, I do have some journal prompts for you. So I'm just going to share them. I feel like this is a lot to write. I will post it later in the group, okay? In the Facebook group. Yeah. Or maybe I'll try to put together I can put this in here. Hold on. I think I can put this in the chat. I think you can get to the chat later. Well, you know what? I'm just going to create a blog post. That's all. And I'll just share it on my website and in the Facebook group. But some of the journal prompts are: what deeply buried emotions are starting to surface for you? How can you explore them in a healthy way? What parts of yourself or your life are going through a transformation now? How can you surrender and allow this process to unfold? How can you embrace the mystery and unknown in your life at this time? What intuition is arising that you need to trust? What obsessions, jealousy, or triggers are coming up for you now? How can you work through these shadows of emotions and patterns? What would it look like to embrace and integrate your darkness during the new moon? How can you find empowerment through vulnerability? What secrets are wanting to be unearthed at this time? Are you feeling called to uncover any truths? What sexual desires are arising? How can you explore passion and intimacy in healthy ways? What needs to die or be released in your life now? And how can you allow space for the old to fall away? How can you dig deeper emotionally and spiritually during the new moon? What wisdom may arise through going within? What resentments or grudges are you holding? How can you practice forgiveness and move forward? So, those are just some of the journal prompts to take a look at. And it looks like Joe says, yes, shadow work can be super intense, especially for people just starting it. So, it is super important to start easy and gently. Right. Absolutely. I agree, and I would say this too, though. I do think that we start off with shadow work, right? We start off tending to the shadow work, don't we? Yeah, I think so. And how in depth we navigate it depends on each person. And when you start to focus on it, then you get really in deep into the meat and potatoes of all of it. All right. So I am going to answer a few questions. I am going to end this live by 10:45. Since I am working out front, I'm going to prepare for working out front. I have a full day of pouring my sprays and creating more of my empath roll-on. So it's also an alchemical day too for me to get in there and put my energy into some of these things. Okay, so does anyone have a question, right, about metaphysics or a quick psychic question, right? Nothing too deep right now because I'm going to kind of do like a speed round. And I see as a child, a married woman, I used to be beaten for expressing my opinion. So I shut down in many ways. And now she expresses herself better by journaling and writing. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. So good to hear. Right? So you have been weaving that in and the healing aspect of all of that. It has saved her. Aw, yeah, I bet. All right. So if anybody has a question, type it in. I know we've got a few people, Facebook, I've on the Mystical Moon page, my Laurie Baracco page, in the Astro Lounge, and I am on live on my YouTube page as well. So let's see. I know I've got a few people watching because it shows me who's watching. So does anybody have a question? If not, I'm just going to pull 3 cards and see what is coming up or what Spirit wants me to share with all of you. Oh. So wait. We've got the King of Swords reversed. We have the Page of Cups, and then we have the Sun reversed. So there may be quite a few triggers that are coming up this week. So everybody, please be mindful. Ask yourself, what I'm about to say, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true? Because I may be triggered. I may need to just take a step or two back and think before I speak because I am being triggered, and it's not fair for me to take out my sensitivities on others where I may be hurting. All right. Hi there, Brittany. Hi, Brittany. If anybody has a question, type it on in. And in the meantime, I feel like there are a couple questions that are going to come. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about some things we have coming up. So this week we have Ray Setti. He is back in town. He will be offering private sessions, astrological charts at the Bonita store, Fort Myers store. He does have limited availability. I don't know exactly what his schedule looks like, but he does have quite a few appointments already scheduled. Tomorrow night we have Jenny Martin with her spiritual enlightenment, and I believe next week, starting in 2 weeks, she's going to be out of town for a few weeks, so her class will not be held. Make sure that you call to RSVP for any classes. Next Friday, I will be hosting the Crystal Bowl meditation here at the Bonita store. On the 25th, Candace will be hosting her Mystic Fair at the Etudes de Ballet. That's from 10 to 6. We will have a mystical booth, and some of the readers from the shop will be there. I will not be offering readings at Candy's Fair, but I will be hosting products, and I would love to see everybody with our mystical goodies. I will not be hosting a psychic development class in November because I will be at Candace's fair. So the next one will be in December. And then Pam has, I think it's Tuesday, next Tuesday, this Tuesday. Is it this Tuesday? On the third Tuesday, Pam will be no, it's next Tuesday. I think it's the 19th or something. Pam will be hosting her Reiki Circle. We will not be hosting the Reiki Circle on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to look at the calendar here just to be sure when that is. On the 21st is Pam's Reiki Circle at the Bonita store. Okay, let me get on out there. All right, I see I have a couple questions. So Elizabeth's question is, what is going to happen between my son and myself? So when we look at that, right, when we look at that question, remember that there is always free will that's involved. And so we're looking at right now the most likely outcome between you and your son with whatever has been taking place. I am going to pull one card for you. And you have the Tower card reversed. Okay. So what this tells me is that some of the shocking, the oh my goodness out of the events and the interaction between you and your son have already taken place. So now the dust is settling. So and the other thing that I'm hearing from Spirit is it's a question for you. How can I navigate through this without worrying about stepping on toes, but yet not compromising my perspective and my point and where I am at integrity wise, right? So what I would advise you to do is to breathe into that inquiry. Let it sit within your heart and ask Spirit to help you with this whole process. Bring in your ancestors, bring in your guides, bring in your divine spirit and talk to his spirit and ask Spirit to help you move forward with peace, integrity, and that the words and that the alignments happen organically and that you are supported by Spirit, and then allow that to take place. But there is something very delicate about the dance between stepping on toes and making waves and speaking your truth. So sit with that a little bit more so, right? And I'm going to encourage you to do some cord cuttings because that will help you separate some of the triggers, the emotional triggers between what is taking place there between the two of you. I think things are going to get better, but I feel we've got a little bit more time before you feel comfortable. I feel kind of edgy for you right now. It feels like you feel unsettled. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we have here. I hope that helped. Brittany's question is, any advice on waiting for justice? Let's see. I'm going to pull a card for you. In the meantime, pay attention to what is emerging within you as you wait for the process to move forward. That is the most difficult thing to address, is that in-between awkward place. I'm going to encourage you to visualize and, that's good. There's a good card. With setting forth, you receiving the verdict and the agreement and the proposals by seeing yourself feeling relieved. I want you to move into the space as if you have received that information. It's not being in la la land. It's anchoring the outcome for the highest and best good of all. And I keep hearing it will be fair. And so this is the 7 of Swords reversed, which it's all out there now. That's interesting. It's all out there now. So there aren't as many questions of, okay, has this been brought to light, and so on and so forth. So hold space within yourself and try to keep yourself, your mind, your fears busy. Do some cord cuttings yourself. Get out in nature and be proactive. And then I'm going to encourage you to anchor in some manifestations for the future. So say there's something about next April. Next April, write something in your phone calendar or wherever you have your calendar of a goal that you would like to have for yourself, whether it's a day at the spa, a day to do nothing, a day where you feel peace. You wake up and feel peace in your heart. I'm going to encourage you to anchor that and write it in your calendar. Okay. And Elizabeth, you are welcome. And Kathy says, you're welcome, Kathy. I appreciate you. And Anne's question has to do with Darby, her beloved spotted one. If she has a message, yes, she is okay. Oh my goodness! Did she have because I go up here, so it's like my lungs, my chest, my breathing. She wants you to know that I can breathe better, that there isn't as much heaviness. I actually get a little fluid in there too. So yes, she is okay, and I just feel that it's a period of rest. Like I feel like sometimes people say, oh, now they're running around, they're over the rainbow bridge and they're running around. I'm not feeling that with Darby. With Darby, I'm relaxing and I'm just kind of looking around. I feel like she's very nosy. She feels very nosy. And so a period of rest. And, did she used to sleep on your bed? Because I feel her very much so in your bedroom. Very much so in your bedroom. I just so much love. I don't know if she used to smile too. I feel like she used to, like, her expressions like happy. Was she not your typical, like, I feel like there's the breed or the mixed breed she was. I feel like there are the typical traits and characteristics. I feel like she was opposite in some of those. Okay. All right. And so Joe's question is, any advice for stuff going on with my mom? Yeah. And you're welcome, Brittany. And Anne says, yep, she slept in my bed all the time. Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, I feel her energy still in your bedroom. She's still there. She's with you. All right. So this was Joe. Any advice for stuff going on with my mom? We've got the 8 of Swords. So it's like I feel like we're really trying to problem solve. Like, okay, if this case scenario pops up, we'll do this. If this case scenario, then we're here. What is to be will be. And you're creating, and she's creating scenarios that aren't even like in the realm of possibilities, that aren't part of the soul path. So Joe, I see the redirection of your thoughts of that's not productive, like a swipe out, like your phone, like how we swipe things off. That's not productive. Swiping it off the radar, swiping it off the mind screen. Like really, I see that this may be a little bit challenging, but please do try to navigate and not get a hold of, but be more aware of some of those deep down rabbit holes that you may go down. Okay. So the worst case scenario is not what's going to manifest. That's not even, I feel like that's not even on the map. Continue to keep sending her good vibes and the situation, right? There is a karmic egregore that is between you and your mother, that soul contract agreement. Send light and healing. See it as a ball of energy and support it with love for all parties involved. I feel like there are other parties involved in this as well, but they're in another sphere. Let's put love, and if you can tend to this ball of energy and send it love and healing and support it for both of us and weave that in and then send it off into the universe, that might even help you as a daily ritual. Okay. All right, Crystal's question is any messages to help me move forward? Please and thank you. Do you have too many irons in the fire, Crystal? That's what I'm hearing. Too many irons in the fire. So how can you move forward when you're trying to jumpstart two, three, four things at once? I think that choosing right now the thing that is most important, the thing that is screaming at you, that is pulling your attention from what you want to do and where you want to be. So whatever is like emerging and like the squeaky, wherever your squeaky wheel is, tend to that squeaky wheel. Then that will help set things into motion, kind of like a domino effect, a really good domino effect. Okay, so oil that squeaky wheel. Be realistic with your goals. You want it all and I want it now. That like that Queen song, I want it all and I want it now. Tend to the squeaky wheel. It's okay to not be hyper focused on all your goals. I'm hearing your family is so important to you. Spend time with your family. Those goals will manifest in the time that they're supposed to manifest with less effort too. Oh yeah, I was going to pull a card for you too. Oh my gosh, I get the 10 of Pentacles. Is that not family or what? It's your validation. Spend time with your family and those who are like family. Let those relationships feed your soul. Okay. Okay. So Liz says, what is going on? And my cards are mostly upside down. Sometimes upside down's good, Liz. Right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's good. So what I'm hearing is that as they are reversed, it's a stop sign. It means stop, pause, just be, regroup, be, let things kind of like what I was talking about in the beginning. Let things catch up to you. Let things sink in. There is so much more that's going on that like in our awareness, in our field of awareness, there are things that are happening currents underneath and in the other realms and the other aspects of our soul. So I'll pull a card for you, and it's the 3 of Cups. So this one is not reversed. This is a time to really enjoy yourself. And I feel that this is happening for a lot of people. It's like, I'm so goal oriented, but I'm not focusing on my goals. Raising your vibration and enjoying your relationships and celebrating what you have accomplished is part of, this is part of your goal to be at this place. Okay. Okay. And you're welcome, Crystal. Joe says, yep, the karmic contract is intense and trying to accept my brother's recent cancer. It's trying to be strong. It's a grieving. Yeah, absolutely. Honor where you're at with your grieving, right? I am so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear about this really unfortunate news and what you are all dealing with. Okay. Hi, Barb. So I'm going to pull a card for you. Here we go. You have the Empress reversed. So, and health. Okay, yeah. So this is health too. So it's probably really getting cold where you're at, right? How can you work with herbs? How can you work with, I know that you have a beautiful garden. And so you have that green thumb and you are so interconnected with all of the herbs and the plants and the aromas. Let's add that to your food and maybe make some potpourri blends in your house, like a simmer pot. Are you supposed to have more of a bland diet, like broth? Because this is what I saw. I saw a big old pot of like gentle food that is easy to digest, and vegetables that are easy to digest, right? I'm sure that there are some like that have like maybe tomatoes may not be easy to digest, right? So foods that that is easy for your body to absorb and digest. I just kept seeing more of a simple broth kind of food for you these days, and to have it throughout the day is really good for you. Okay, so herbs, plants, all of that. alchemizing with all of that. And the Empress reverse is saying too that it says someone has resistance around you to something new, a new beginning. So just navigate through that. All right. And Anne says, my response to Crystal resonates with her. Oh, I'm glad that resonates for you too. And this is totally Three of Cups was the only card right side up in my last reading. I love that. Yep, bland food, you got it. Mm-hmm. I love when that happens too. So Anne says that when getting responses to others that resonates with me, that is what the magic is of being in a group setting, right? If you host a gallery, like a mediumship gallery or a message gallery, something is going to resonate because whoever is tuned in, there's on some layer that you are to receive that message as well. And Liz could go for that pot of broth too. I know, me too. I'm feeling that myself. I've been craving pho lately, so maybe I can get some pho this week. It's kind of hot right now here in Florida, but I might still see if I can get some pho. Have Jim make some pho for me, or just buy some. Support my local restaurant. Also, Spirit wants me to remind everybody that it's important to support your small businesses. Because I was thinking about the restaurant that I think it's a newer restaurant by my house that opened up where they have the pho and they have boba tea and all that really good stuff. And it's been kind of quiet there. So don't forget to support your small businesses because they're not the big box stores. They're not like a Publix or a Target. If you can, support small businesses. And I'm going to say this. Please don't ask for discounts in a small business. I know there are a lot of business owners here, right? Or people who have owned businesses, right? Please do not ask a small business for a discount. They are doing the best they can. Most are charging fair prices, and to ask for a discount is not quite fair because you wouldn't do that at Target or Publix where they are able to buy in bulk. A small business has a lot of expenses, so please support them and please don't try to barter with them and get the price, haggle on the prices. Okay. All right. I know in some cultures like that's how it's done, but if you're in the US, please don't. Right? We are doing the best we can with sharing our goods, our products, and we don't have as deep a pockets as a Target or a Publix. Okay. And I see someone is eating pho right now. Oh, but Joe, you're eating pho. How funny. I love pho. I love the basil and the mint and all that. So good. All right. So as I mentioned, I will be working out front today. So I will be popping off a little bit earlier. And so I will put together within the next day or so, at least, a new moon in Scorpio blog to share with all of you with some of those journal prompts and things to be mindful of. That this is why this is coming up. These are the cosmic energies to support us on this path. And then maybe my next live, I'll talk a little bit more about shadow work because it definitely is something that is very emergent for people these days. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and listen to your body, listen to your mind. Is your mind tired? Is your body tired? Right? Sometimes we think the body's tired, but it's really the mind, right? The mind is trying to figure things out and navigate and problem solve and all the things that are coming up, right? Sometimes we got to just shut the mind off, right? It's not always the body that's tired. All right, everybody, have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Aw, thank you, everybody.